In the third question here, we're asked, pick two cards from a pack. What is the probability that we end up with a pair? Then I came across this website, and that lets me actually just pick two cards and see whether we get a pair. So on the one hand, we can theoretically work it out, which is what the question was, but at the same time we can actually do a simulation and measure, see how often do we get pairs. Now what happens is when you actually do it, when you do experiments, the answer is very noisy. Actually, when I used this the first time, I ended up with a pair twice in the first 3 draws, while it should be far rarer than that, which is the answer we get when we work it out. It's like if you toss a coin, you can end up getting heads 3 times in a row, but in general that shouldn't happen. This has, I'll put in the link to this site where it's picking 2 cards from a deck. So you can see here, cards is equal to 2. If I wanted to pick 3 cards, I assume that would be 3. And there's lots of other stuff you can do from this site. But for this week's problem set, and that question in particular, we can actually just simulate it and see how often do we end up with a pair. Of course, if you actually have a pack of cards, you can do it with the cards and you don't need to do it with a computer simulation, but it's no harm having it. And in fact, computer simulations can be used to do all kinds of probability work, where you model a system and then you see what you actually get, and you then have exactly the same issues. You know, you have the thing of, if I just pick 10 cards, 10 pairs, that's not really enough. It's too noisy an answer. Do I do 100 times? Do I do it 100 times? Do I need to do it 1,000 times? Even more. So that's why those kind of issues come up when you're dealing with probability, that it isn't that easy. You can't just pick 10 cards or 20 cards and now you know the answer. If you pick 20 cards, once maybe you'll end up only getting 1 pair. Sometimes you'll end up getting 4 pairs. You'll get a distribution. The solutions to the problem set will be up on Friday.